As far back as 2003, in fact, in August of 2003, we started meeting with the members of the Department of Environmental Resources. Now, the Department of Environmental Resources in Prince George's County is over our Animal Management Division. It's not in the health, animal management is not in the health department or in the police department like it is in other counties. So we went to the Department of Environmental Resources. And if you remember, at that time, I was carrying a great big pile of documentation to leave with them to teach them all about the issue because we had done our homework. And we realized that a lot of times people go to the county officials and say, this is an awful problem and you really should fix it and do it right. But what we did was we went in with an analysis of a problem, some samples of implementations in various other jurisdictions that have been successful to fix that problem, and a proposal for Prince George's County. So we basically did the work for them, presenting it was basically a case all wrapped up with a bow on it.
And I think we were presenting the views of their citizens. I think that we received lots and lots of calls from people who ask us what they can do and what they can do to help because they don't want animals to be killed. That's
right. Well, sometimes they ignored us and sometimes they just came back and said, well, sorry, we can't do that. And the reason that they cited was it's illegal in Prince George's County, and they cited several things like you can't have cats running at large, it's illegal to feed cats, it's cats must be licensed and so forth. So
people hear that a lot.
Yes, they're hearing that even today. So what we did was we said, well, if this is what we have to do, then we'll have to change the law. And so let's look at the law and find out where are the things in the law that we have to change. And we learned quite a bit when we did that. Actually, we learned that the law that we have in Prince George's County is pretty good. In fact, I've compared it to some of the other jurisdictions around here. I think our law is better than a lot of jurisdictions around us.
It looks good to me.
Yes. Well, what we did was we first looked for the law that said that it was illegal to feed. And we know that some people have gotten cited for unlawful feeding. But we didn't find it. There is no law in the Prince George's County Animal Control statute that says that it's illegal to feed.
If our viewers have experience with charges like that, unlawful feeding, failure to license, or failure to vaccinate as far as feral cats are concerned, please contact us. We'd love to talk to you.
Yes. The other things about failure to license and failure to vaccinate, they are laws. However, they're specifically restricted to domestic animals, your pets, like your cats and dogs that you have in the house or you walk on a leash. They expressly do not apply to feral cats. So this is an issue that we've been trying to deal with now for a number of years.
Well, let's also make sure that we tell our viewers our mission. The mission of Prince George's Feral Friends SPCA is to reduce instances of domestic violence and animal abuse by promoting compassion through the experience of the human-animal bond.
That's right. That's right. And of course, we feel as though the compassion people exercise is really very good. It's a good thing to have compassion for a hungry animal and feed the animal and so forth. However, the obstacles that we face in Prince George's County because of the county policies, not because of the law, are standing in the way. Now, in order to get to those policies, it's probably a good idea if we know a little bit about the county structure, who reports to whom in the county. And of course, like most forms of government in a democracy, we have three branches. We have the legislative branch, which makes the law, and your county council members are part of the legislative branch. By the way, if you haven't talked to your county council member about your concerns recently, I would encourage you to do that. so the legislative branch is one branch, and then there's the executive branch. And you know Jack Johnson is the county executive, and he has under him the different departments which actually carry out the policies and enforce the regulations of the county. And then the third branch is the judicial branch, which is the court system. The Department of Environmental Resources, of course, is in the executive branch under Jack Johnson, their county executive. And under the Department of Environmental Resources is the Animal Management Division.
That's what most people call animal control.
Animal control, right. Now, animal control has a couple of things going on here. First of all, animal control has some employees, and these are animal control officers and other people who do some administrative things and other kinds of duties. But they also have a contract that brings in a nonprofit organization to work in the animal control facility. And the nonprofit organization is the Animal Welfare.
Animal Protection
League.
It changes hands every few
years.
Go
ahead.
The Animal Protection League takes care of feeding and washing and cleaning up after the animals in the animal control facility.
Yes. Now, an interesting thing to remember about our animal control officers, because they're in Animal Management Division under the Department of Environmental Resources, they're not what's known as sworn officers. They're not police officers. They do not carry guns. They do not make arrests, and they can't put cuffs on you and haul you off. They are just animal control officers that write warnings and citations. So they can give you a warning, they can give you a citation if they choose to, but they can't arrest you. And if they're going to pursue something where they need to come into your house, they need a warrant. You're not obligated to talk to them. You're not obligated to answer any questions. You're not obligated to let them in your house unless they have a warrant. Now, if they have a warrant, you'll know because they'll come with a police officer or a sheriff who is the one who can serve the warrant. And so in that case, then you need to cooperate with the police officer or the sheriff. Now, there's another group that you probably need to know about, and maybe you've never heard of them before. And that's called the Commission for Animal Control. And they're also part of the Department of Environmental Resources. So you have Animal Management Division and the Commission that are both reporting to the Department of Environmental Resources.
And I think the Commission members are all volunteers. Some of them represent county agencies, but most of them are citizen representatives.
Yes. And their purpose, at least their stated purpose in the law, is to arbitrate disputes between citizens and animal control. If animal control cites you for something that you think is unfair, the commission is supposed to be there to hear your evidence and your argument that maybe they were unfair.
They're also supposed to make recommendations, I think, about changes in policy.
That's true. That's true. We've actually been visiting Commission for Animal Control hearings. By the way, the hearings are open meetings according to the Maryland State Open Meetings Law. The public is welcome. They have to let you in. If they don't have a big enough room, they have to find a bigger room because the public is entitled to come if it wants to. And you know, we've learned a lot about the operation of the commission and this group of groups, the animal control officers, the AMD, Animal Management Division, the commission.
Lots of different parts that sometimes people aren't sure how they fit together. Well,
we've learned a lot by visiting and listening in on their hearings. And we'll be reporting on some of the things that we learned at their hearings in a future episode. Now, our mission is to reduce the violence, whether it's domestic violence or animal cruelty, and we see them really as two different forms of the same thing. It just